Hi, my name is Kyle Ricketson, and I'm going to be talking about criminal justice and the opportunities it provides. Okay, it's not one of the most ordinary multidisciplinary studies or focuses of study, but the utilization of these studies does provide beneficial career potential. The best way to start would be just kind of diving into talking about a variety of these fields that are offered through your studies as a criminal justice major earning your bachelor's degree. Opportunities consist of state, federal, and local law enforcement correction agencies. Most common would be probably your state, local, and federal probation parole officers. And according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics at www.bls.gov, a starting salary for one of these federal or state probation parole officers would be about $51,000. But the thing is it has a 6% potential of growth because there's always going to be a need for these types of individuals with the knowledge on how to do these types of things. Another potential career opportunity is law enforcement. It's the most logical one people think of whenever considering criminal justice. There's a wide variety of law enforcement opportunities. You have state, local, and federal. Once again, federal would be your FBI, CIA, Homeland Security. State and local, Department of Public Safety, sheriff's offices, those sorts. A lot of people that once they are established into these policing, law enforcement type agencies, they'll work there for a bit, and some end up becoming private investigators or private detectives. This is a way that they can contract out their services and the knowledge and abilities they have to either organizations or law enforcement agencies to generate a pretty substantial income for themselves and kind of be their own boss for a while. Other jobs that you don't really initially think of whenever you think criminal justice would be your crime scene investigators, blood spatter experts, etc., those types of things. Another thing that people do that have that focus on criminal justice would be to start their employment somewhere where they're familiar with and they get established and they find their niche. They find what they really like to do and what their passion is. And a lot go back to earn their master's degrees with that criminal justice concentration, but with an essential one, something that they can target so that, like a forensic scientist, a master's degree in criminal justice criminology with an essential of science or some type. Forensic scientists, they generate $76,000 to $82,000 a year starting salary with an individual that has a master's degree that's focusing on that. The rate of pay that you make is definitely dependent on where you're at. I live in a small town, 1,000 people. I'm not going to make as much money working here as I would in a larger area that has more potential for crime and that has a desperate need for the growth of law enforcement correction agencies. To find who are hiring, that's always the big question. Who's hiring? What jobs are out there? For criminal justice, it's really not that difficult to find open positions. You can search the websites such as Monster, Indeed. You can refer to your local newspapers, which has a lot of helpful information. But the most beneficial that I've found is directly the agency's website. They're very clear, and they tell you exactly what they want and what you have to be involved. Another type of employment I would like to focus on because it's personally important to me because it's something that I do is social services. Social services, though it's not a law enforcement or correction concentration, it does base itself off of a lot of the criminal justice curriculum and the things that you study in the criminal justice programs. Organizations such as Adult Protective Services, Department of Public Safety, Department of Family and Protective Services, Those are the types of organizations that you can be affiliated with that bachelor's degree in criminal justice. At www.jobsportal.hhsc.tx, it explains that the starting salary is $3,900 for one of these social workers that works at some of these agencies. Another important thing to remember is that whenever you're trying to refer to someone or something about what you should do or what you can find, is the professors and the doctors that teach you your curriculum. These individuals, they've lived those lives with those careers. That's why they're so capable of teaching it to the next generation. They've perfected their craft and gone and performed their duty, and then they've come back and they're trying to teach, to share that information to the next group, so that maybe you could possibly do it yourself. Other criminal justice programs that I found at criminaljusticeprograms.com that doesn't really come to mind when you consider criminal justice: legal document examiner, field asset protection, loss prevention assets, judges, paralegals. There's a lot of opportunities for criminal justice. You don't have to just stop. It's a constant wheel that allows you to keep generating more and more knowledge. It's a great field, and I'm so happy to be a part of it. Thank you.